The Adobe SpeedGrade application is a part of the Creative Cloud suite of applications. And I use this application to create the LUT or lookup table for the previous lesson. Now, this course is not a course on SpeedGrade. I just felt that I would show you what the application looks like and give you a very, very basic look at some of the things you can do to change how your footage looks. Now, as you can see, I've already created a green tinged version of my cabin footage. And I can simply go to this look section here in the little timeline or the little tab area that we see down here. So the look area is where you're going to do a lot of your corrections and your modification of your footage. And to get this footage into the application, I literally just went to my desktop and dragged it into this monitor area. So as you can see here, I am doing a primary adjustment and I have a look already saved down here. I'm going to just create another one real fast to show you how I did it and how you can export it so you can bring it into After Effects. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Reset right here. So let's say I want to modify some of the attributes of this footage. I can change the overall appearance of it. I can work with the shadows, the midtones, or the highlights. So let's say I want to play around with the midtones. I can come over here to these little sliders and I can just slide to the left or right. And I can change the contrast. I can change the temperature. So for example, you'll notice that the image is getting cooler as I slide all the way to the left. It's a lot cooler than it was before. All right, so I'll just go a little further. And you see that it gets more and more blue as I cool the environment down. Likewise, I can heat it up by going to this direction. Now, let's say I like the way this is right now, but I want to, bump up the contrast perhaps in the shadows. I'll choose shadows in this tab, and I'll just go ahead and increase it or decrease the contrast. Now, if I really like the way this looks, I come over here now to this area, and I click on this icon, little hard drive, and it adds that new look right here. So here's one look that I created, and here's a new one. And when I want to start again, I can go ahead and reset that. Or I can go ahead and just make a new layer or whatever I need to do. Now, let's say I want to save this LUT file. When I hover my mouse over these thumbnails, I can see I can go ahead and hit the X, or I can hit the E, which would export it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the X on this guy, and it's going to ask me if I want to confirm the deletion. So I'm not going to do that. I just want to show you that the X is for delete, but the E is for export. So I hit the E, and it's going to create a zip archive that contains the LUT files that I want. So I could choose 3DL. I could choose any of these guys here. If I want to change the options, I can go ahead and do that. But if I'm ready to export, I can go ahead and hit this button, and I can export it to my hard drive. What I typically do at that point is I unarchive it by just double-clicking on it to open up the zip file, and then I import the LUT file that I need for After Effects into After Effects, and that lookup table is applied to my footage. And that is how you can create a lookup table using Adobe SpeedGrade CS6.